Hey guys! Alright, so here's the deal. Shortly before starting to film this vlog, I began uploading my most recent On the Rack to YouTube. It's a little earlier than I expected. I intended to upload it on Monday because I really do want to keep a set schedule, and I said every other week, and 2 weeks from the last review would be Monday. But I decided to upload it today for two reasons. The first reason, this review has been done for a really long time and I was getting impatient. Which is probably the main reason I decided, I'll just upload it tonight. It's hard for me to sit on stuff that's been done because I get excited. The other reason is, I'm not sure I actually want my reviews to come out on Monday, and particularly the next one, I would prefer come out 2 Fridays from now. Which is what this vlog is actually about, because normally I would put this at the end of the On the Rack that I just uploaded, but because it was done 3 weeks ago, I didn't really want to take it back into editing and add stuff to it, so I decided I'll upload it as is, and then I'll film this vlog to explain basically some schedule changes. Initially, I intended to do a countdown after this On the Rack, which I said I was going to do either a video game countdown or possibly something with Steven Universe. I'm still going to do that, it's just not going to be the next review. And those of you who have seen my Twitter, which I'm guessing is probably not most of you, will know that I have decided instead to do another Real versus Real with Frozen and Moana. So you're going to get a Real versus Real a lot quicker than probably you expected, and a lot quicker than I expected. And the reason for that is it was one of those things where when I got the idea, I recently saw Moana. I saw it like 2 weeks ago, I would say, for the first time, which I probably should have seen it sooner, but I saw it 2 weeks ago, and eventually I got to the point where the idea was sort of like, oh hey, I could do this in Frozen, and once I got that idea in my head, it was like I had to do it. So I got excited, and it was sort of like, well, if I wait, then maybe some of this excitement will go away, and I'd rather just be super psyched and excited and passionate about it like right now. That way it's much easier to write the script out for it and all of that. Whereas the countdown, despite the fact that I'm going to enjoy talking about anything that I'm doing a countdown on, because countdowns are generally positive things that I enjoy anyways, countdowns also take a lot of work, and I've never done one where I haven't been incredibly fatigued with it towards the end. Now this is not going to be a multi-part countdown. I'm not going to release this in several videos. It's just going either one. Regardless of which one it is, it's just going to be one video. If it's the video game one, it's probably going to be one really freaking long video, but I'm not going to do a two-parter, because that takes even more, it becomes even more fatiguing when you do it over the course of a couple times. By the end of it, you're just sick to death of everything you're talking about, even if you love everything you're talking about. But I decided to do this first because I was so excited about it. Sometimes that happens. Sometimes it's like, ooh, I can compare these movies, and then I just have to do it, and I have to do it as soon as possible. So I decided, let's do that one next. I know Real vs. Real was always a popular show, so I doubt many of you are like super upset about it, and you're still gonna get the countdown. It's just gonna be after this one. But the reason I actually want it to come out in 2 Fridays instead of that next Monday is, for starters, I'm currently on day 5 of a 12-day week because I took a whole bunch of overtime. My job doesn't offer overtime very often, so when it does, I usually jump at the chance for the monies, and then I usually regret it and hate everything because I'm working 12 days in a row and have a 10-hour shift tomorrow. But so I'm on that right now. I'm still probably going to be, well, not probably, I've already been working on this next Real versus Real. I've already been working on it, so I'll be working on it into the next week. But directly after my overtime is over, which will be over next Friday, I go on vacation, which is one of the reasons why I was kind of okay with taking 12 days in a row, because I was like, but then I immediately go on a staycation, so maybe I can live with this sort of work hell week, and then if I have that to look forward to. Because of that would mean that Friday, because my staycation is a week, the next Friday would be during my vacation, whereas if I tried to release it that next Monday, it would be once I go back to work, which would still work. I would still have it done, but I would probably have a really hard time going through my whole vacation without releasing something. And I'll probably be in a much better mood if I'm releasing it on that Friday instead of the next Monday when I go back to work. So Frozen vs. Moana in 2 weeks from today, and then the countdown will be in 2 weeks from then. I'm gonna try to go to the movies because I think there are some out. I don't think there's anything I'm super excited about seeing, but I know there are some things out. I probably won't get to it this next week because, as I said, I'm on a 12-day hell week. But when I get into my staycation, I'll probably try to see whatever is still out and do some little reviews, and I'll publish those on my staycation too, since I have the time and I'm not really doing much of anything else apart from working on this and probably doing a lot of cleaning. So that's really all I wanted to say. I know that a lot of people probably didn't see my tweet about it, so I figured I'll just do a vlog. I'm not gonna, edit the previous video again and put it at the end. I'll just tell you here that that's what's going to happen. I guess it could have been a surprise too, but so yeah, that's it. Beyond that, in the countdown, I don't really have any plans for what's gonna come after that. I'm obviously open to suggestions. On the Rack will just be, it'll happen. It can honestly probably happen whenever I don't have an idea for something else, just because there are plenty of weird animated films to find wherever. I even have sort of some that I've got, we'll say, emergency backup on the Racks that I've got bought from ages ago that I've never watched or looked at. So if there isn't like something that really jumps out at me, I'll probably do another On the Rack after the countdown, since that'll be like a Real versus Real countdown. It'll probably be another On the Rack, just because those tend to be quicker to make than Real versus Real, and definitely than a countdown. But who knows? Honestly, I wasn't expecting to do a Real versus Real this quickly, and I've actually spent the last week trying to update my opening for Real versus Real and my graphics and stuff, because I was expecting to have a little more time to work on that. But I really wanted to do this this comparison, so yeah, I mean, most of that stuff's done. Now I've just gotta do the actual review, which I've already got partially written. So that'll probably honestly be done before it's due again, but I'm gonna try really, really hard to wait until Friday during my staycation to release it, because I really do want to have a specific day when these things come out, so I can adhere to some sort of schedule. So that's it. Yeah. Bye, guys.